Are you guys ever at work? And then you think about how sometimes they are trying to make you do things that are gonna make you really uncomfortable. Well, I want to tell you a couple things that could happen as a school psych that might make you uncomfortable, but I am here to tell you, please get comfortable doing the uncomfortable. So that intro may have been a little aggressive, and I wasn't trying to make it aggressive, but it's gonna be different wherever you are because each place is different. Like I always say, each state, each city, each school in a district is so different. But I'm just going to name a couple things from my own experience or people that I know from other districts, from their experience, just different things that you might find uncomfortable, but we had to get comfortable doing it in the job. So let's get started. These aren't in any particular order, but the first thing I'm gonna say is setting boundaries and not being afraid to let others know those boundaries. So I know I've mentioned this in other videos, but it's so important to set those boundaries if you can early on, and that might make you a little uncomfortable, especially if you don't know the school or the district or the building that much. But I'm telling you, if you do that in the beginning when you first start working there, they will be less likely to try to take advantage of you and make you do things that you are not supposed to be doing. So for example, they might ask you to do all the little tasks that no one else wants to do on the team because you're new, or they might try to get you to do things that aren't in your job description. Don't let them do that. Now, if you want to try to do that like one time later on, go ahead. But if you start off doing all the things they tell you, even if it really is not in your own job description to do and you have other things that need to get done that are of higher importance, I personally wouldn't start down that path because then it might become a thing and could lead to burnout in the future. The second thing is certain topics that you might find uncomfortable, such as talking to students about hygiene, being clean, and puberty, things like that. I'm not saying that you would have to, but I know there was a couple times I shared the office with the social worker and teachers would come in, or other staff members or parents, asking if we can talk to a student about like wearing deodorant or how there's like a certain smell that they have because they're sweating and they don't notice it and they just really don't know how to take care of themselves and what they're supposed to do because no one ever taught them, and they don't even realize that they're sweating and it's producing this odor, right? Also, some girls have their period early on and they don't know what to do with that, and again, no one ever taught them, so they're freaking out, don't know what they're supposed to use or what they're supposed to do. So then we come in, you know, and we could help them with that. Like, okay, it's normal. This is what a period is. This is what you use to take care of that. So things like that, where a lot of people, I won't say a lot, but I know some people will get really uncomfortable talking about that stuff with anyone in general, let alone younger kids. But you know, we're all people, and that is something that happens, and especially if they're younger, they might not even know any better, so you might be uncomfortable, but that is something that you may have to do. The third thing is you might have to lead your child find or your child study meeting. So in Virginia here at the school I'm at, we don't have to do that. Like the school psychs don't have to do that, but when I was in Pennsylvania, there were the school psychs leading the meetings. I'm not saying that was every school or every district, but where I was, the school psych was like the main person leading the meeting. And I know I didn't do it because I was an intern at the time, but that does make me uncomfortable because I'm like, oh my gosh, like you feel like you're the one that everyone's depending on, but for the whole meeting. But you know, I did have to do it once. Obviously my supervisor was there, so she would step in and add whatever needed to be added, and it did feel uncomfortable for me, but I got through it and I survived. And you will too if you have to do it. The fourth thing is maybe in movies and shows you see like the counselors, and if there's a school psych, they may have a huge office all to themselves. Well, I'm here to tell you that's not always the case. I share an office with the social worker at both my schools, and I have heard plenty of stories where some people don't have an office at all, or they just have like a little closet space, and it's literally a closet that they tried to turn into an office. So that might be a little uncomfortable because you might be sharing the office with someone that you don't know, and you might not have had to share an office with someone before. You might not know what to do. So just trying to work that out, especially if there's more than 2 of you in there. Maybe there's like 4 to 8 of you in this office. Also, if you have a small space, maybe you thought you would have a big space. So you're trying to figure out, well, how can I make this room inviting? And if you don't have any space at all, then you're probably really like, okay, I feel really uncomfortable because where's all my stuff gonna go? And unfortunately, that is the reality sometimes, depending where you're at. So I would definitely try to find that out though, whenever you're going to apply for jobs. Like, hey, do I have my own space? And the last thing, the 5th thing that I would like to say is try to get comfortable with possibly being pulled out of your work zone when you are in your headspace of, I'm just gonna get this work done. That is my plan today. Because things pop up. People might drag you somewhere else. A meeting might come up, a crisis might come up, and you might feel like you're being pulled in all different directions, and that's totally normal, and it happens. So I just want you to know that this is a possibility, and to be okay with possibly getting interrupted when you might be deep into your work and you're like, I'm getting this done today. And again, going back to some of the other videos that I've done before, this is also why you want to try to get started on any work that you have as soon as possible, because something could come up, anything could come up. And if that thing is due, I don't know, in a couple hours, and you didn't finish it, and then a crisis comes up, like a suicide threat assessment that you have to do, and then by the time it's done, this meeting's happening, it's not finished, you know, it will make your life so much less hectic. Let me reiterate, it'll make your work life so much less hectic if, you know, you kind of plan it out so that if these things do arise, you already have a plan for it. It'll get done eventually, and it'll still be on time because I still have time to do it. And if I finish it today, great. Anyway, I'm gonna go because I wanted to make a short little video, since I'm pretty sure when I'm posting this, it's Black Friday, right after Thanksgiving. I don't want to keep anyone too long, but I want to put a little video up for people. I hope that this helped. I really enjoyed making this, and I appreciate you so much if you did watch this, as well as watching my other videos and just being here. It really means a lot to me. I hope that you guys had a great holiday. I hope that you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you guys later, okay? Bye.